Hey everybody, welcome to the Prime 4 podcast. My name is Bryce.
Chris.
Ross.
Alex.
And today we're going to start off with some very sad news. First off, Peter Mayhew, the actor who plays Chewbacca in the original Star Wars movies and in the movie 6 and... what are we at? 7 and 8. He passed away.
Well, to be fair, he was like Chewbacca was like a few hundred years old, right?
Yes, he was old. Ross, did you want to say that you already thought he had passed away?
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I thought that the last few movies he was in was somebody else playing him because I thought he had died. Because I thought I heard he was in had health issues like a few years ago.
How old is this guy though?
Oh my God, how old was he? I think he was
late. Wasn't it like late 70s, like 79 or something? That's like
crazy.
That
I could check it out.
I don't know if Ross is like the best person to track like who's dead or.
That's
who
true.
isn't,
I thought Kirby Puckett was still alive when he had been dead for years one time.
Yeah, he was 74. He passed away at 74. So
okay, that's
Carrie Fisher is gone. Peter Mayhew's gone. Chewbacca and Princess Leia. Harrison Ford died in the series, but he's still alive. Mark Hamill's still alive.
Did you hear the rumor that they're gonna have him in a scene in the new one, like as like a scene where someone's like
Vision, Harrison Ford?
Yeah.
How'd they get him to do that?
I don't know. Probably a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's very unfortunate. I hope that Peter Mayhew. I'm assuming they filmed all of his scenes if he is in the new one.
Yeah, they already filmed
Yeah,
them.
they're done filming.
Yeah, The Rise of Sky. That's amazing that he finished and then passed away, though. That's
why I think he's a robot.
I'm pretty sure that either they
what?
filmed them all at the same time or they're doing the same thing for Carrie Fisher that they did for Peter Cushing in this film, where they just CGI the whole thing. Because I swear in the trailer I seen...
Yeah, she filmed some scenes, they said. Or they have some like footage that they didn't use that they were going to use.
Maybe that's what they did then.
In The Rise of Skywalker. We'll see how they're going to do it, but Peter Mayhew should still be in the next Star Wars movie as Chewbacca. Ross thought he was replaced as Chewbacca.
Yeah, I mean...
And I'm like, how could you not tell that
to be
that
fair,
was
like,
that
how
was
would
the
you
guy?
How would you even be able to tell?
Yeah.
You could tell by the way he moves and the way he looks.
Like
They have professional people who literally just watch people and know how to do that.
Yeah.
And by
like
the way that he makes
doubles
the
and
Wookiee
shit.
noises, dude.
Yeah.
I didn't even know he made them.
I don't know
For
if he
reals?
did. I don't know if he does either.
I didn't know if he did either.
Holy shit. Blowing my
Oh my God, now I got to look that up.
I mean, if I didn't know that, it's easy to assume that somebody could just replace him, but...
That would be... I know he didn't play Chewbacca in the Solo movie, I don't think. Peter Mayhew did not come up with or do the voice of Chewbacca.
Okay.
Lucasfilm sound designer Ben Burtt did, compositing it from grunts and growls from a variety of different animals. So that's... it's still... I mean, he's still our Chewbacca.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still our fucking Chewbacca.
You seen like the hairless Chewbacca like picture where it shows him without the hair, and
that would be...
that'd be terrifying.
It's very terrifying looking.
It's like the picture of that. Have you seen the picture of the wet koala bear?
Yep.
Like that is just absolutely
They
terrifying.
had it in like Tropic.
I haven't seen it.
You ever seen Tropic Thunder? They have like the wet koala bear in it. That's a panda. The wet panda where it looks all scary and shit.
All right, so before we get too... we got one more bad news to go through before we get too lighthearted here. Ghetto Boys, Bushwick Bill...
We got two more.
Announces that he has stage 4 pancreatic cancer, which is... I think... Didn't Alex Trebek have that?
I think that's... Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's pretty much a death sentence at stage 4, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty low percentage.
For those of you who do not know, Bushwick Bill is the little person... I think that's the politically correct term from Ghetto Boys. He's great. He's part of the Ghetto Boys. He's 1/3 of the Ghetto Boys with Scarface. It's a legendary group. He did a very bittersweet video on it, pretty much saying that he's been through this before. Like when what? What's so funny?
Who's the other third? Like.
You said he was 1/3, and I'm like, are you sure?
You only said 2 names like that. It sounds like it's a number game. But
I didn't. Oh my God.
You have
He's fucking done.
That's the weakest I've ever seen, Ross. That is super hilarious.
I only started laughing because I seen him.
Okay.
Like,
He was trying so hard to hold it in.
Yeah. All right, can we proceed after that?
Yes, you can.
I'm trying to see. They had past members, but it's Willie D, Scarface, and Bushwick Bill.
Mm-hmm.
They've had a few people that actually went through Ghetto Boys, but it's Willie D, Bushwick Bill, and Scarface. And I'm pretty sure we cut what Ross did. We're cutting that. I'm assuming we're cutting that.
We cut that?
What?
Never mind. We'll see. We'll look and post how terrible you are. But he made a bittersweet video.
Fine, but whatever.
He made a bittersweet video about it, pretty much saying that he did attempt to commit suicide in the past.
Oh, jeez.
He was close to death before. He said that he's ready to, he's accepted it, and that he's doing as much as he can to get residuals. He's trying to do as much as he can to prepare his family with residuals. So he's making moves to make sure that his family's taken care of after he goes. So I think he's come to terms with it. It's very unfortunate.
It is, and it's kind of reminiscent of when Fife came out and was like, yeah, I have diabetes, da-da-da-da. And then you hear about Fife passing, and it's like, holy shit, like, it happened super quick.
Yeah.
Like,
or what
that's
was it?
crazy.
Jay Dilla or whatever. He had like,
Yeah.
what was it, lupus or something?
Something.
Then there was, God, when did that Mobb Deep, when did he die?
Prodigy was a couple years ago.
Prodigy, yeah. He lived a long time with sickle cell.
Yeah.
I think that's what he had, right? Sickle cell, yeah. It's sad. I mean, rappers are eventually going to pass
Can't
away.
they like cure sickle cell now or something? I thought they were saying that just recently.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that, but it's very unfortunate. Ghetto Boys haven't been like really active for a very long time too, but they're classics. I mean, mine's playing Tricks on Me. That's a good one, and check that out. Would you think that's their biggest hit?
I trust Google with those kind of things because it's like, back in that era, I was not really too deep into the music radio streets. Like, I was just hearing whatever my cousins would pull out the crates on the vinyl or, the tape decks and shit like that. So, I don't know.
It's either Mine's Playing Tricks on Me or, I don't know what the title, Damn It Feels Good to Be a Gangsta. I don't know if that's the title of the song.
That probably had the most...
That's a very popular song too, of Ghetto Boys. So you've probably heard of Ghetto Boys if you've listened to classic hip hop. Okay, what was the third one you said we had?
Third one, John Singleton.
Yep.
He was involved in movies Boys in the Hood, Poetic Justice, Too Fast, Too Furious, Baby Boy, Four Brothers, the Shaft movie with Samuel L. Jackson. Motherfucker, you can't say his name without saying the MF. But... he passed away. He directed... what's crazy is I was, like, watching YouTube videos, and then, like, the Mike Jackson Remember the Time video came up, and I'm like, word! And then I thought about it. I thought about it and got sad.
Not gonna lie, I have never seen Boys in the Hood. I'll say that right now.
Really?
I've never seen Boys in the Hood.
What?
I've never seen Boys in the Hood.
Jeez.
You've seen Four Brothers though, right?
It's like people who've never seen American History.
Well, I've seen Baby Boy.
Yeah, like, what?
I saw Baby Boy when that first came out, and that was amazing. What else did I see?
I haven't seen Baby Boy. So.
God, what's that one with Ving Rhames on the horse with the cowboy and then the
Rosewood?
Yeah, that movie's awful and great at the same time.
For sure.
Just what's the opening scene of that movie? Just like, never mind. That's
Yeah.
talk about it.
If you're
Awful
talking
opening scene.
It was
like,
awful.
They showed us that in school. And
They
then,
did.
Yes.
They did.
Yes.
Was it Ving Rhames getting bent over?
No, that was Pulp
Fiction.
Fiction.
Well, it's the other way around.
Oh.
Yeah, never mind. It's a terrible scene. I mean,
I can't believe they showed us that in school. I just thought about that shit.
I didn't see it in school.
Too Fast, Too Furious. I saw it for the first time recently. Not gonna lie, it was okay with not ever seeing it. So.
It's like the best.
Calm down,
it's
man.
the best of the series.
It's the best pre-rock Fast and the Furious movie.
Pretty much.
First one. Still about the first one, dude.
The only thing that was good about the first one was the whole like where he was like didn't know what to do. Like but the thing is that's totally a rip off of like Point Break. The whole like where he gets in over his head and he's like,
never saw it that way.
Who do I want to like do I still have my allegiance to like the cops, or do I want to? Except he goes the other way.
Sure.
It's like
I never really thought about it like that.
I don't
It's
know.
not-
I just
Point Break wasn't the first, okay?
Well, yeah, I'm sure it
Yeah,
wasn't.
but wasn't that in the same era as Point Break?
No.
90s
Frank
films?
was
It was
early
they were
90s.
both 90s.
Yeah.
Fast and Furious was 99?
I
it was
believe it was
90s, my
90s.
G.
I thought it was in 2000s.
Yeah.
Nah, bro.
Alex, check that out.
Cash Money
quick.
Records.
Right?
Too Fast, Too Furious was 2003.
I remember all those gold chains and those
Yeah, it could be.
NHA.
It could be like 2000.
I
Fucking
typed in
velour
Fast and
suits.
Furious and
It's Fast and the Furious.
the Fast and the
You
Furious.
dumb-
It brought me
you
to
dumb
some like
bitch.
right wing like conspiracy theory.
That's
The Fast and the Furious 2001.
2001 to present.
Yep. Fuck you guys.
Still within like 10 years, I bet.
Yeah, probably. Well, because it's a whole goddamn decade you just put it in.
Dude, it's within
The
the
90s is just a decade.
When
It's
did
within
Point
the
Break
You
same,
come
did
out?
the whole
within
decade.
the same generation.
So if Point Break is past 91, you skip the whole decade open.
That's how you want to look at it.
You
I
know
guess.
what? It's probably within the past 20 years. 20 years of each other.
To be fair, that'd be considered
Damn,
under
Point
the
Break
same
was
umbrella.
1991.
Oh, yeah.
That's exactly 10 years.
Yeah.
Jeez.
All right.
They're
I'll
like,
take.
we'll wait 10 years and then we'll release a movie similar, but but going the other way.
Instead of surfing, we'll have them race cars.
I'll
Yep.
take back everything I said.
And they'll steal DVD players and shit instead of like robbing banks.
Right?
I-
Oh, shit.
Oh man, I've seen a bunch of John Singleton movies, but I haven't seen Boys in the Hood, so I should probably watch that.
Yeah.
Because I love Baby Boy, so
Have you seen like Menace to Society?
a long time ago.
So I mean, it's in that same vein to me.
Okay.
It's really good, and it kind of gives a commentary where you can understand those neighborhoods in California a little bit better.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
House Party 2.
Yep. so that's that's unfortunate, but that's the sad news that we have for you. Hopefully, celebrities don't die as often as they do, but they will.
Yeah, and then also support their works. I mean, the money hopefully goes to the family or whatever. Like, stream their music, buy their films. I know when Nip passed, it's like, how do I get my hands on some of the marathon clothing and shit like that to support his family afterwards and kind of get something to remember them by as well. So I encourage you to do that.
All right. We have some other great news. He who shall not be named was sentenced to 240 days behind bars for probation violation. So that's some good news.
Ooh,
He who should not be named.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Alex is doing
Talking about
it.
Young Jack?
No. The guy who scammed kids by selling them consoles that weren't his.
Oh, you talking about Big Soldier.
So. Yeah, well,
Big House Soldier.
they're gonna call him Lil Soldier because they're gonna pass him around like prison currency for what he did to those kids.
Man, Soldier Boy is gangster. You ain't seen that one video where he was
Where
out
he
in
was
the
humping
hood?
his friend.
They're like, oh boy, you about to become a man.
He's gonna run into Nasty Nate.
I've seen that video if that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, there's a video where he was out somewhere in California where he's like, I be out in the streets, and he like rolls up to this one dude and he just like mushes Soldier Boy's face. Like, it was super funny.
Really?
Yeah, you gotta see it. You gotta see it.
So Logic. Okay, so about the Soldier Boy thing. Yeah, that's what he was sentenced to. I guess it could have been a lot longer, but they shortened it. He got lucky, I guess, in regards to it. Because they take probation with rappers very seriously and use them as examples usually. So he got lucky to get 240 days rather than the full probably 2 to 3 years or something. Like,
I don't know what the original charges were though.
I don't even know. I didn't look too much into it because he's a scam artist.
Who isn't a scam artist though?
That's true.
Alex.
Like, that's true.
No, Alex is a scammer, bro. I see him in action now.
So to go back to it, Logic is to release Homicide single with Eminem yesterday. I didn't listen to it. Because I didn't get a chance. I forgot it was going on.
Well, no,
Eh.
it's
Because we recorded on the
All
wrong
I
day.
saw about it was there was some article that's like, oh, it's been done before or something like that, like the same kind of
You
thing.
can say it about
What's that?
anything.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's what everyone's gonna say. That's pretty much what I thought.
Someone strums a fucking violin. Oh, Big told him that before.
you. True. True words have never been spoken. I feel the same way.
You think every note on an instrument hasn't been played before? Like, shut the fuck up.
You're like a skateboarder. Kickflip. Oh, I've seen a skater do that before.
I'm pretty sure the brown note hasn't been played before.
It has. You listen to Ice Ice Baby, and then you're like, that's been done before. Because it has. But
oh, shit,
anyway, so I'm excited to listen to that because Logic is influenced by Eminem, and Logic has a very similar flow to a lot of other rappers that Eminem fucks with pretty much. He's got that modern rap flow that you would find in like Joyner Lucas, J. Cole, Kendrick. Not so much Kendrick.
That, like, modern,
Schoolboy
like,
Q.
Yuppie
Are you just going to call him corny again so we can have this fucking discussion?
He's a cornball. He is a cornball. He is a cornball.
He is the gentrification of rap right
cornball.
there.
We've had. Well, first off, he's not white. Do you want to get into that discussion?
You don't necessarily
about
have
calling
to be
a black guy white.
Gentrified.
Correct.
Do you?
No.
Oh, I thought it was all about being white and old and having money.
It's all about shopping.
You're
at
a
Whole
wasp,
Foods.
gentrifier. No.
I just assumed it was white.
That's a colonizer. We learned that term.
My
Colonizer.
bad. To be fair,
But no, I think Logic is super corny, but
we've had this discussion before.
right.
We don't
but
need to go down.
Hear me out. I think Logic is super corny, but as of lately, I've actually been giving his music a chance, and it's not bad. It's not bad stuff. I wouldn't say it's up there with the greatest, but I can't relate to what he's talking about always. So I think the more I could relate to it, or the more parallels in songs I could probably
Like Wu-Tang Forever. Because he assembled the clan like Voltron. And that's, I don't know, I like Logic. It's because he's a modern rapper who's not a fucking mumble rapper.
Yeah.
So it's easier to listen to than...
It's like, I don't know, like he's kind of coming off like the end, like the back end of like Don Glover and Kid Cudi and that sort of vein. So like it's been done before, yeah. It's just, I don't know, like...
What do you mean?
Well,
by
and then
that?
when are we getting new Cudi?
Donald Glover.
That's what I'm looking for.
Would he be? When did he start rapping? Like,
You remember Freaks and Geeks, Donald Glover? Childish Gambino, Freaks and Geeks?
is that like? So is he not considered? Would we consider him a modern rapper? Okay.
Yeah.
Probably postmodern, the shit that he's rapping about,
Right?
right?
He said, mass appeal, orange rind, spin your grain.
All right. So Logic is corny, but he has a single release with Eminem called Homicide.
Do we think
And-
it's going to be corny?
I think it's going to be legit.
Okay,
It's
so
called Homicide, so you can assume it's probably going to be some shock rap in there.
Okay.
Maybe.
Do we think that they are
Some
going to go
murder
like
rap.
bar
probably-
for bar? Do we think they're going to have their own verses? Do we think Eminem's just going to be in the background, like all of the features on?
I mean, Joyner Lucas held his own against Eminem and Lucky You, so I'm pretty sure that Logic can hold his own.
I don't agree with that. I have a
And
personal
Lucky You?
I have a personal vendetta.
I know. So
we all know.
Yeah, yeah.
Let
You
me
don't
make that
like
appearance
Joyner
one
Lucas.
more time. I don't like you, Joyner Lucas.
But no, what do you call it? I'm guessing that it goes from kill shot to murder. Like it's just basically like him beating the MGK dead horse or something.
You're saying that they're both gonna call it MGK in it? That's what, no, I'm just
That'd
kidding.
be so
That would
funny.
be way too much time has passed.
Yeah.
I would be against that. That would be dumb.
Who's
I'm
M
sure
beefing
it's-
with these days? 50 Cent?
Man.
No. What the fuck
That would
you
be
beefing
the
with
most
50?
hilarious beef ever because, like, even if
I think they were. I think they did a little bit, but I think they patched that up. Like,
but 50 Cent is like the most
Petty.
I could say the most petty rapper out.
well, Eminem's pretty petty, just not like publicly.
Yeah, like you. Fifth does that. Like he does that, and it's super. I mean, it's funny. I still laugh at the shit that he did to Ja Rule, where he's like,
So good.
bought
You mean the stuff
first
he's
4
still doing
rows.
to Ja Rule?
Yeah.
It's like the next thing just hasn't come yet.
Yeah.
And then he released. He posted that sex tape as pettiness for some chick from Love and Hip Hop, I think.
Yeah.
And it was already available on the internet, but he posted it, so she sued him, and he was like, he had the defense that it was already widely available on the internet. I was just forwarding it like everybody else or whatever, posting it like everybody else. He won and then countersued and won. So this Love and Hip Hop star owes him for legal fees, which I think was like $30,000, and she even made a rap like "I ain't got it" or some shit.
Yeah,
I ain't got it.
Yeah,
and then he copyrighted that saying. I ain't got it.
Yeah, then he copyrighted the saying, and then she was in an interview, and then they were like, "Can't he just like garnish your wages from Love and Hip Hop?" And she just went silent. And she's like, "We're working at it," or something like that after like a pause.
Yo.
Like 50 Cent is fucking so petty. It's amazing.
I like. He's always been that way because I was watching videos when him and Ja Rule's beef started, and like he has been the same person all the way through.
I mean, Ja's got another festival coming up allegedly, so we'll see. We'll see if 50 starts lighting him up.
No shit. We'll see how that goes.
It's like, is this gonna be fire? Is this like?
It's gonna be something.
It is. And speaking of festivals and the word something in the motherfucking water. Did y'all see the pictures from that? I think that's gonna rival Coachella.
Is that the Pharrell's thing?
Mm-hmm. Right on the beach in Virginia Beach, Virginia. One of my millions of homes around.
We should have went there.
We'll go next year.
Okay.
I actually started saving because like
We're supposed to go to Soundset though.
There's gonna be a next year.
yeah.
Oh, it's not gonna be like the one. Thing?
No, it's not gonna be a one and done.
Did
Like,
Jay-Z go to
Fire,
that
it's
one?
gonna
Yeah,
be
Hope
Fire
showed up.
Fest or whatever.
Man, if it was anything
Oh, no.
like Firefest, I'd be down the street from
Whoa.
Was it some remote island for
They're working on
rich
Firefest
people?
too, Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah.
Man,
So that's exciting.
yeah.
I would go to that.
Yeah.
Like,
And it's an airline ticket. I mean, I have family in the area, so 9
not if
times out of
Kanye
10,
shows though.
we wouldn't. Yeah, you'd have
Pulling
to go.
out if Kanye shows.
If Kanye shows
But if Most Def
and
and
Kanye
Tyler
show,
Quali and then DMX show like they are at Soundset, then I'll go.
yeah. What if they do?
I wanna go to
something they did
Soundset.
together?
What if they get on stage with Ye?
Ooh, but
You-
then
you
MF
literally-
Doom comes out.
You literally
yeah,
would be
trying
like,
to go
mind
up against City
explosion.
Hall.
you
Titty
would
Ball.
literally be turning around and like facing forward so fast that you'd tear a hole in fucking
Right?
space time, dude. It's like no.
Just turn
no.
into a pillar.
Well,
of
to be
salt.
fair though, Most Def Sunshine, that's Kanye production. He calls him Kanye on the song. So, and that song's dope, but that's when Kanye was of right mind, and that's okay.
That's, yeah,
Was
that's
Kanye really ever of right mind, or did his mother just
Not
help
for
keep
a
him
while.
Anchored? Like, you know
I
what I'm
think,
saying?
yeah.
Well, he had that accident too, and people said he changed after the accident, so it's possible.
I mean, when you go through hospitalizations, like it changes who you
Yeah.
are as a person. It's like YOLO. I'm gonna just do whatever the
Well,
fuck
some
I want to.
people it
when I
does,
want
some
to.
people-
yeah, it was a major
Yeah.
accident. We should have
Yeah.
filmed at the set. It's warm enough. We should have
we
filmed
could've.
at the set.
We could've. Is
Too
it-
fucking bad.
is
We're
it
not
clean?
restarting for
Is
you.
Is it clean?
No.
Probably
That's
not.
what she said.
No, we'll clean it. Maybe next week if it's nice. We'll go there and we'll go back to our regular set so you don't have to see this nasty ass shit. Ross will still be there though, so there'll still be a little bit of nasty.
Just a little bit.
So that's it I got for hip hop news.
Damn it.
Not non-dairy.
Not non-dairy. Okay. We got a lot of game news to cover, so Ross is going to just blow through these. Go ahead, Ross.
What? I don't know.
Go ahead, go to gaming, start it off,
wait,
Ross.
wait,
I'm not the only one, Ross, who's got to run the show.
But none of the first topics are mine. But
Yeah,
whatever.
let me start off gaming.
What do you have?
Chris wants it.
Mr. Game & Watch?
Yes.
Where are you scrolling? How far are you
Man,
scrolling?
I gotta scroll until I see my damn. Where is this shit?
It's at the
Mario Kart.
Yes.
Mario Kart.
Yes, that was yours. Yeah.
Cell phone. I
That was
can't
your-
find this shit. Mario
at the
Kart on a
bottom.
cell phone. It's not.
Well, I mean, it's right
It's right under the word gaming.
right there. You just passed it. You just passed it.
Mario Kart's coming
Right
to
there.
smartphones.
Gaming.
Yeah, I was looking for the article that I posted.
I don't.
Oh, okay. That's what you're looking for.
Yeah, that's
Chris
right.
is going through the list unprepared as fuck.
Right.
We are 40. How many episodes are we in?
1,000.
We don't have our shit
We're at
together.
30,000 episodes.
36?
No, 30. Who cares?
30 what?
We don't have our shit together. That's the main
Right.
point of trying to put
Right.
across.
Well, that was that.
Ross wasn't ready with the list. Chris wasn't ready with this article. Alex doesn't even know why he's here.
It's
We don't know what's going on anymore.
and it's not coming up. Mario Kart has been amazing for a long time.
Yes.
And I'm one of those gamers that, you know, without doing either console or PC, the only way I have access to a lot of games is through my phone. So when Pokemon Go came out for that whole glorious month and a half that I was playing that, like, it was sweet. So I like to see a nod thrown to the cell phone gamers. I look forward to, and I'm kind of salty a little bit because I have Apple products and the beta testing or whatever is on Android only.
It might not even come to iPhone. Is any of the Nintendo games on there?
Yeah,
on the iPhone?
It says it's going to come to iOS as well.
For those of you curious, it's Mario Kart is going to be on smartphones, allegedly. Don't know what kind of like what kind of
Mario
graphics
Kart
they're going
64,
for.
right?
Yeah, if they're going Mario Kart 64 back to the NES or SNES, excuse me, or maybe some simplified version of Mario Kart 8. Like, fucking who knows? We'll see how that goes. That's exciting.
Actually, believe it or not, your phone's probably more powerful than a lot of
the older consoles,
I could
for sure.
see them running the Wii U version of Mario Kart 8 on it, maybe.
That'd be cool because then we wouldn't have to bring Switches anywhere. We would each have our phone and then we'd play Mario.
Yeah.
That's like boring though. I like yelling at a screen with other people next to me. Not on my phone. Like
Mario Kart would be amazing.
Well, you're gonna love this then.
You can play Mario Kart outside. It'd be great.
I used to own a go-kart.
Really?
A long time
Gerald
ago.
gone.
When I was a kid, my dad won it in a drawing, and it was a go-kart, but then it had like a plastic like race car thing over it to look like a little race car.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Wait.
And I used to drive that thing up and down the road, and then I left it outside probably.
Yep.
It was left outside, and then eventually probably rusted and shit, and it is.
Probably, yeah.
It was fun while it lasted.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, that was my dumb little story. Ross, what do you got for gaming news?
New Earthworm Jim game in development for the new Intellivision console.
Don't sound too excited.
What is Intellivision console?
There's the console right there.
Oh.
Is this Soulja Boy's new console?
The way I heard...
Is that iPod on there? That's 2 iPods on there.
Oh, those are the remotes.
Is that iPod on there?
Those are the remotes. And apparently they have where you can download an app and use your phone as a remote. So you
That'd
can
be
have
pretty
up to
cool.
8 players on one thing.
That's
The
what I'm saying,
Intellivision
like-
is a very
That's what I was
old.
saying when you said that phone thing.
Yeah, I'm
What?
like, just do it.
Yeah,
Intellivision is a very old console
Yep.
that they had back in the day. It
Yep.
was one of the ones that got ate up when gaming essentially died back in
I think
the
it was the 80s.
80s,
console.
and then Nintendo rejuvenated it with
But
the
they got like the whole
Famicom,
team
yeah.
together for the Earthworm Jim game, with
which is the Nintendo.
Tommy Tallarico and like everybody together.
They're bringing the whole team together. That's pretty cool. They're just gonna put a bunch of Pi 3s in a fucking box and ship it out like every other goddamn console. Oh, you want a SNES Classic or a NES Classic? It's a fucking jump
I
drive.
think it'll retail between $149 and $179.
That is cheap shit.
Yeah, and then they said the games will be $299 to $799 each.
And it's all retro
It'll be-
games?
I think it's digital. You know,
That
like
sounds like
download
a
or whatever.
dev. Yeah, that sounds like just a little indie box, pretty
Like a
much.
Soulja Boy grab.
They got to play that way more careful than what they're doing for that cheap. That cheap makes me think it's a fucking Pi 3 in a goddamn box. Like,
But you gotta
we'll
think,
see.
for non-tech savvy people, like when you say it's a Pi 3 in a box, it's like, I don't know how to set that shit up. I know a guy.
Yeah,
So it's like, that's what they kind of prey on, those in-betweeners that aren't really
Yeah.
savvy enough to get with Xbox.
Well, this is catering to old people too, because no kid, what's an Intellivision? They'll have no fucking idea what it is.
They're like,
That's not even for our generation. We're fucking 30.
you gotta think though, because like
Or I'm 30, I don't care
kids
about
right
your
now,
ages.
even in fashion, if you look at any popular Instagram
It's gonna have
influencer,
a full color touchscreen on each controller.
That's awesome. Go ahead. What were you
if
saying?
you look at any influencers right now, they dress like poor 90 kids. Like the shit that I talk about this with my wife all the time. The shit that we would have got made fun of for wearing in the 90s is the shit that they love now.
Yeah, they wear it ironically. Yeah.
Yeah, so like, oh, I got a champion shirt. I'm like, what the fuck is that? You know what I mean?
It's like part of that hipster.
It's
culture,
like, yeah, like Bugle Boy and like...
yeah.
Yeah, like
starter jackets.
like back in the '90s during the grunge era, it was all flannel and ripped jeans,
Yeah.
and now hipsters are like, hipster ladies are all hot wearing it and shit.
Right?
And,
Yeah.
I love Alice in Chains. That's cringe.
But I guess the console's supposed to come out mid 2019, so it's like almost here already.
Oh.
That's exciting. I
It
won't
is.
buy it, but I will look at a review. If it's good, I'll buy it. I'll play Ross's because I know
kinda-
Ross is gonna buy it.
I kind of miss the days where we can like rent consoles to see if it's worth our time or not. Like, that
Oh
was
yeah,
the
when you could
shit.
go to the video store, pay. God, it was expensive though,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Wasn't it like I don't want to say $20, but I think it might have been like $20 to rent something.
Yep.
Well,
Back-
like a console?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't know you could ever rent consoles.
Yeah,
Holy
like
crap.
go to
it was
Blockbuster
during.
and rent a
Yeah, you
console.
could rent a Nintendo
Yeah.
64. You could rent VCR.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was back in the day, though.
Yeah, it must have
Like,
been.
Hells yeah.
You know, yeah, God, what did they have? Yeah, they had a bunch of consoles, but I think it was like $20. You could only rent it for a few days, then you'd have to rent the game with it. It just seemed like a odd waste of money. Like,
That's true.
Yeah, but it's like those kids that are like, oh, I'm having a bunch of friends over and I can't really afford, because we didn't have huge birthday parties back in the day, if you even had one, you know what I mean? And it's just like, I'll pay $30 to rent you guys a game and you can go whatever.
that'd be cool. Well, you had nice parents.
Yeah. I can't even front. Yeah.
No, I could never rent a system, but that'd be cool if you could do that now.
Our parents would rent stuff and then we'd return it late, and then they'd just wait like a few years and the late fee would go away.
Really? Oh my god. That's true. They eventually just wrote them off pretty much, I think.
Yep.
The one thing about it though is back in the day, like TVs, there wasn't like very good internet, if any. Mm-hmm. So information wasn't widely available. Mm-hmm. TVs were made of all different types and kinds of shit. There was no general way a TV was built. Right. They like during that late 90s or mid 90s, they had old TVs still being made with a new generation of TV. It was nothing like we have today, where everything's generally has all the same shit. Yep. So if you rented one of these consoles and found out you needed like the analog thing, but then you have antenna and you need the channel switcher, and you don't have the channel switcher, which was a little box that you would have to attach to your console, and it would have a switch on it that said channel 3 or channel 4. And then you would rent that, and if you didn't have that, which was your antennas had a base channel that to be able to run on the TV for some fucking reason through the antenna analog, it would have to be ran on a certain channel. So if you didn't have that switch, you couldn't even play the console on that TV.
I just remember Nintendo 64 and Super Nintendo had the same like hookup, so you could use the one from either system on either one.
I think PlayStation did that with PSX and PS2.
Yep, the SNES. The SNES had the same AV input for the N64 that you could interchange, but the N64 had that big ass power block that you can switch with anything. But the AV you could switch, which was really cool. So I'm excited to see where they go with it. I mean, I've never played an Intellivision or had one.
Yeah, that's old
stuff.
So
I'm excited. Have you played it, Alex, since you're the oldest one here? No. No, I'm kidding. He's not really the oldest one here.
That's funny.
League of Legends staff said they are preparing a mass walkout because apparently there's a lot of like bro mentality in the workforce for the Riot is the company. League of Legends, they make that game very popular on Twitch. It is the #1 game I think viewed on Twitch right now, right above Fortnite. And Riot Games pretty much has a lot of bro mentality in the office, a lot of womanizing. People were reporting like managers farting on people, I guess. Was one of the things? Yes.
What?
Yes. And they're trying
Sounds
to...
like a fun place.
And there was
Rip ass on someone's desk.
There was a problem with one of the higher-ups, and they just suspended him for a while without
was
pay.
he one of the two that like founded the company?
I don't remember.
It was one of the
It was
few first
Rise or
people, I think.
Trendemir, I think one of them.
Yeah, and he got suspended without pay, and then they brought him back, and nothing changed.
Could you imagine if the guy who owned your company or like was one of the ones creators of the company just like went up to you and went,
Yeah.
going, man? I got you good.
Yeah.
It's like, well, technically,
Eat
this
my
isn't
fart, you
your
fucking
desk.
nerd.
This is my desk.
You're late on your project. That's what you get.
Yeah. We need that skin made right away, you fucking nerd.
Wait until you lean back in your chair mid-yawn and just let ass rip all across.
I just want to assume they walk around calling all their developers fucking nerds.
Yeah.
With the bro mentality.
Right.
They're going around with their athletic cut shirts, like
Yeah,
holding like a football because they just got off break, like
The-
playing catch or something.
No, they got
American-
like their shaker cup with their protein drink in the
yeah.
other hand.
The American Eagle tight t-shirts.
They still got their white golf gloves on.
For some reason,
yeah.
they're wearing like fucking like sunglasses.
Yeah,
inside.
white frame sunglasses inside.
Yep.
Yeah.
Clearly, we don't know what bros look like.
What do you mean? They're probably wearing like Yeezys and those sunglasses.
Just imagine if the Chive was running a computer game company.
Pretty much. Pretty much. Fuck the Chive.
Listen.
9 5 plus 4 pennies. Add that shit up.
Listen.
No idea why that is relevant.
We support
not the Chive.
Not the Chive. We don't support the Chive.
We support actual charitable organizations.
Like the Trump Foundation.
He's like, bleep that.
The one.
Can't even say that with a straight face.
The ones that actually probably
just insta cringe.
Yeah, actually give the money to research and not
yeah.
What do they call it? Like
PC bros?
PC bros.
No, like notoriety. What are they getting the word out, or what do they call that for charitable organizations that do that?
What? PR?
There's non-profit and then there's for-profits, if that's what you're talking about.
Never mind.
Yeah. They do the charitable stuff with the intent of making them look good, is kind of what he's talking about.
That, and I'm trying to think of it. You two got in trouble for it.
Like a PR
Bono got in trouble
thing?
for it. No, it's... God damn it, I can't think of the word. But they don't give the money to research. They give it as, awareness, to raise awareness.
Oh.
Yes, that's what I was looking for, people.
So
I stumbled through it.
It's literally just advertisement for like the cause, but they're not actually giving money to fix the cause.
Yes, but they don't really tell that to people.
Yeah.
Wow, for real?
That's like a lot of charitable organizations. Like Trump organizations.
Well, they'll be like,
it goes from your pocket directly to Trump. Fuck Donald Trump.
There were a bunch of them that were getting in trouble for that just recently, where it's like, only like 20-some cents out of every dollar is going to the actual thing. It's like being being.
To be fair, I don't know anything about the Trump organization. I just know he made Trump steaks, Trump water, Trump Monopoly,
Trump University.
Trump University, Trump Casino.
Yes, clothing line too.
Trump clothing.
Is that Ivanka or?
Oh no, I'm just naming all of his failed endeavors.
Yeah, real estate.
Yeah, Trump real estate. He does have Trump Towers. That's his only successful endeavor, and becoming the president of the United States.
Because people are
and losing the popular vote. We are now a political podcast. Okay.
Boom.
William Barr. No, I'm kidding. We're not getting into it. But anyway, if they actually did this mass walkout, that'd be hilarious. I would laugh. I want at least 50% of the workforce to walk out.
It sounded like Riot was like gonna bend to him though, so it's probably.
Well, no, I heard that they were trying to get them. They were trying to force the individuals into private litigation where they can't. Like I think it's in their contract.
That was for the actual like victim people who were
like the lawsuits. You think? Yeah.
That's fucked up.
So they can't do it publicly or be public about it. It's all like in like one of their
pretty much settlements.
Yeah, and then one of their council rooms or whatever, or one of their...
So arbitration.
Arbitration, that's what I'm like.
That's the thing.
That's what I'm trying to say.
It's like, listen, how much can we pay to make this go away?
To be fair, I research nothing that I look up. I just get the title, and then just say the title.
I clearly don't.
And then I guess as to what it means.
Forced arbitration.
That's not true. I try. I actually do try. Alex doesn't try. Alex doesn't believe in trying.
Is shitty. Also, the fact that
that's why his girlfriend left him.
If you want to do something like a walkout, like in my mind, wouldn't you just be about it instead of talking about it? It's like, hey, Thursday's coming up. Let's not go to work.
It's the reason they're doing it is just to try to force their hand.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I don't think they had ever intention. It's like just having it come out publicly hurts Riot Games and having to make them address the issue in a proper manner that they want. Possibly get reparations for it, but I don't think they were ever actually planning.
It's like dangling it out there and seeing if they'll.
Because if they were about it, if you're about it, don't talk about it, be about it, like that sort of thing. Sure. That's how you actually hurt the company. Is just like you do in a fast food industry where you just walk out.
Or let's say that you're working in a call center and you put the phones down, right, and then eventually you end up turning into a horse or a Equisapien.
That movie fucking awful.
It's fucking great.
I thought about that right away when he said about like a walkout. I'm like, all stand up and refuse to work or something.
That my
that
god,
movie was so good.
Hated that movie. It was not good, in my opinion. I'll say my opinion, even though it's factual. I'll say my opinion,
even though it's factual.
No, I'm kidding.
Factually, the
I'm kidding.
Is terrible.
I know that everybody who listens to the podcast, they hate me the most.
That's surprising. I'm surprised that I'm not hated the most.
Well, that guy said, yap, 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 fucking fatzos, and we're the two fat ones. So it's 50-50. Do you hate me or Ross more?
Right?
I feel like...
Can we do a poll? We're going to do a poll in the comments.
For all of our 19 subscribers...
Right. Like if you hate Ross more, comment if you hate Ross.
That's not true. Liking is easier.
19 comments. That would be ridiculous.
That's crazy.
So we talked about the Earthworm Jim thing, which they had a really good SNES game. Yep. I keep fucking those two up.
And Genesis, it was
like all the other words.
Sega Genesis. And
yeah, because they went hand in hand, and then Sega eventually died. So former devs speak out about severe crunch at Mortal Kombat Studios. For Mortal Kombat 11, there's apparently some severe crunch thing, which was very common back in the day, mind you. Like, crunch time is pretty much when the developer has to meet a deadline proposed by, like, essentially the publisher, and they have to meet that deadline, or they're either fucked or they have to release what they have, or they won't get future work. It's like extreme pressure.
What game was it that was just that came out within the last year that had where they said there was like a super crunch to where they were working like a ton of hours of like
Rockstar, I think, was one of them.
Yeah, it was for the what's it called, the Red Dead.
Yep, Red Dead Redemption 2. Yep. They make the most money off of games. Like they don't. Their publisher, who is fucking Rockstar's publisher, because they need to chill the fuck out because they make.
When it comes to money. Like, you think they're going to chill the fuck out when they just... That's all they want, dude?
Yeah. Take-Two Interactive is their parent company, but let me see if I can find who their publisher is. Let's see. Products, parent is Take-Two Interactive. So, I guess Take-Two Interactive would probably be their publisher.
They probably do everything.
The company owns two major publishing labels, Rockstar Games and 2K.
Okay.
So I guess Rockstar Games itself is its own publisher.
I guess.
So why would they shoot themselves in the fucking foot? Oh, okay. So, well, anyway, in regards to that, back in the day, you had to set everything up because you had physical product. Mm-hmm. So you had to meet all the requirements in certain periods to get everything manufactured within a specific time frame. Yep. So once you have your manufacturing time set up, you got to go through all the tests. You have to make that time, essentially. That's what the crunch is. And then they get down to the 0 hour where eventually employees are working. Back in the day, it was insane. They used to work like, I don't even think half of them. Some of them didn't even sleep probably for over a day at a time probably.
Yeah.
I know. It was in the early 2000s, probably late 90s, where crunch time was like a thing. It was just part of the industry. They're frowning upon it now, though.
How would you go into an industry knowing that that's a thing and want to do that? Like, I understand that people are passionate about that and shit like that, but like, outside of family, I don't think I've ever been passionate so much about something where I'm like, I'll just give up sleep for a couple days.
I mean, I'm sure they get paid like overtime and stuff, like a lot of money. I would hope. I doubt it though. I doubt they get paid too much.
There isn't much else to choose from other than like if you're an artist of that like ilk, like of that vein, you either got to do like CGI, like cartoons and stuff, or video games. I mean,
so either way, you're hitting that deadline. Shit.
Yeah. I mean, because computer animated stuff is, it's like you're either working for like some sort of production studio that movies and TV shows use, or you're working on video games.
Yeah.
Maybe some type of animation for movies, like he said. Like, there's not much to do in that vein. So they know that it's a revolving door industry, and the crunch time, it's probably like the fast food of the computer world. Like, we don't care if you leave. There's plenty of people, like, hundreds of people with applications waiting.
You could have chose a worse art career. I mean, look at how many people who are like, I'm an artist, and then they just like are just poor their entire life, pretty much.
Yeah.
And then you see the guy on Reddit with a pencil drawing that gets like 70,000 likes, and then you're like, that guy made it.
I never did school, and it's like, what?
It's ridiculous. Well, it's like seeing how many people are actually talented with art. Like, it's insane. And I'm sure it's probably competitive to some sort of extent. Mm-hmm. But crunch time, they're against it now. And the employees are going against it.
Well, realistically, nowadays, I mean, you don't set up like a time for your cartridges to be manufactured because most of it's just burning a disc.
It's like an archaic thing that they don't have to do anymore.
You print up your fucking
or shouldn't have to do.
You print up your fucking sleeves for your fucking like CD case, and then you print up a CD, and now it's going more digital anyway with the streaming consoles.
I mean, the main problem is they have these like gaming like cons and stuff like E3 and all these different things, and they promise this game's going to be like, oh, third quarter of this year or something like that, and then if they end up like not hitting that deadline, they look like people hate them.
That's
for
when
it.
the investors want to have that cash in.
Yeah,
There's
what it is.
Yeah, there's some times where you hear about a video game, the date's been pushed back because they didn't meet a deadline of some sort. But I'm sure they're crunching during that time.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that I'd rather wait for an actual good, solid product than get fucking shit thrown in my face.
Some people are like, they promised me.
Well,
some people have entitlement issues.
Yeah. And these companies are like, essentially, they don't want to do these things, but they're in a chokehold from publishers and investors. Like they have to meet these demands, otherwise the investors might pull out, or they might not get any future investments if they. There's just a lot of pressure, I'm sure, regarding it. So that kind of sucks.
Yeah, my thing is, with pressure in the business industry, like, there's dynamics where you can change that pressure and be like, hey, we have something dope. This is how you make your money by investing it. We're going to need however many weeks, months, years, whatever, to come out with this project. And you're just going to have to deal with what we give you.
But the thing is that a lot of times that don't happen.
Well, yeah, I understand
a lot of times the people with the money end up ruining the game because they want it done before it should be.
Or they want to add microtransactions to it.
Yeah, or a specific way.
They're not even passionate about the gaming industry. I think we got into this discussion, we did before, where I feel the same way with games that I do about the music industry. Mm-hmm. Like, it's artists and business-minded people coming together, and it never works out really well.
Yeah, that's how the greatest game developing company of all time, Blizzard North, that's how they went away and they disbanded, was because Blizzard got bought out by Activision, became Activision Blizzard or whatever, and then there was micromanagement happening. They weren't even in the same location from Blizzard and Blizzard North, and Blizzard North was being micromanaged and pretty much told how to make their game. And then the founders pretty much just cut and left, and then they dissolved it, sucked in some people from it back to Blizzard. They made shitty Diablo 3, which isn't a real Diablo game. And then they used them on World of Warcraft and stuff. That's why World of Warcraft's so good, because Diablo guys came over, So figured that out. But yeah, it sucks. I mean, it's just they got their hand in the pot because they control the money. That's how it works. Epic Games did some more horse shit, so they bought Rocket League. Every week we're going to have something for Epic Games. They bought Rocket League developer Psyonix and hints that it will stop being sold on Steam. Rocket League is a very popular game where you drive around a little car to hit a soccer ball or a ball into a goal, and there's two goals, and you essentially use the cars to hit.
You can use rocket boosters and shit.
There's some people that play that in real life. Shout out to them.
Yep. And so they sold to Epic, and this is a game that was originally on Steam. It probably sold like as much as it's going to on Steam anyway. Yeah. So if they pull it off Steam, I'm sure Steam isn't sweating too much. They're still supporting
people who own it on Steam.
Yeah, I'm sure Steam wouldn't sweat too much. So fuck you, Tom Sweeney and Epic Games.
I think they more want the developer because they want to see if they come up with something else or if they are working on something else. I'm sure they are.
Or maybe they put out a bid or something, and then Epic Games is like, we'll buy you.
Yeah, probably.
For a new game. And then they'll be in crunch time for it. Right. But, I mean, Epic Games, they're on the hunt. They're on the warpath, dude. I'm excited to see where this goes. And hopefully it ends in a fist fight between Gabe Newell and Todd Sweeney.
Apparently, like
Gabe Newell would win
live.
He's a beefy fucker.
Apparently, Steam users tried to review bomb it with like 2,700 negative reviews, but they have a new like review system that like kicks the the review bomb reviews somehow.
Where's that?
On Steam, yeah.
How would you be able to do that?
How would you be able to tell if it's not?
I don't
legit?
know.
It's probably just based off hours played or something.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
But isn't that change? Like you should be able to review bomb shit. You should be able to review bomb shit.
When someone has 1,000 hours in a game on Steam and posts a negative review, delete it. Delete it.
I thought you meant like if they had like an hour and they said it was bad.
No, and if they have an hour in it, I don't know. I guess at that point, like, because that's good, because then they played it for an hour.
Well, they haven't played it for long enough to have a good opinion.
They haven't played it for long enough to get invested in the time they spent.
Yeah, but that's based off like how long the game actually runs for. Like, there's too many variables.
What the fuck is the point of the comment section if you can't make comments in it? You know what I mean?
Well,
maybe it's
because comments can cost people money.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like
literally that's what it is.
That's just like manufacturing streams that we talked about before, where you're like, it's shitty to say that you got more streams than you did, and blah blah blah. Like, they're basically padding the numbers by saying, "Oh, this comment's not that great."
I mean, they did that with reviews on Steam. I mean, I like it because they have a timeline graph of like when the reviews. Like, you could see when people did a lot of reviews, like, oh shit, like last year there was like 30% negative reviews. Let's click that and look at them, and then you'll see like they did an update that fucked shit up, and you'll be able to see that period of time when people were giving them negative reviews.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a review system. Who gives a fuck? If they're doing something bad and people are review bombing and they own the game, can you blame them?
I just don't know how you can shit on a company for selling just because they sold to Epic. Like, they're probably.
I don't know
maybe
how
they felt like they weren't going to be profitable. Like,
well,
or
the
didn't have
issue
much else to
with
do.
that
like,
is, are they going to be suppressing legitimate criticisms of the game too, just because it looks bad for the game?
Yeah, maybe they
that's
type
what
in
I'm saying.
keyword like Epic Games and then they delete it.
Yeah,
Because that has nothing to do with the game.
The whole Firefest
Shit like
setup.
that.
Yep.
I'm sure that's not the case. I'm sure the company wasn't like doing bad, but I'm sure they got offered enough and they're like, why wouldn't we take this money?
It's the public, except for Borderlands 3. That developer is full on going hard dick on Epic Games.
I hate Gearbox.
Oh, Randy
Yeah,
Pitchford.
yeah, Randy Pitchford. He's a mess. He's a mess. Randy Pitchford's a goddamn mess. But no, usually it's the publisher that makes these decisions anyway. The developer has nothing to do with it. So why would you get mad at the developer? But you can't touch the publisher in any way other than their wallet. So you have to do the review bombs. You don't have to, but you can do the review bombs to affect sales, which hurts the publisher because the publisher doesn't listen anyway. It's where can we make the most profit? And that's the path that they'll take. That is capitalism 101.
Yeah, profit without accountability.
Exactly. So that's exciting to see where that will go. And it's exciting to see when Gabe Newell will fight Todd Sweeney.
I believe they took over the like esports aspect of it too, because I guess there's like Rocket League esports and stuff.
Yeah, they have a little esports, I think.
Yep.
We'll see what they do with that in the future. Kickstarter game. This is going to be awesome. Kickstarter game Subverse gets over $2 million out of a $100,000 goal.
Yep.
The game is a space RPG with arcade-style shooting and grid-like combat where you can fuck waifus and that you pick up through the chapters.
Yep.
Every pledge tier up to $750 pounds is backed. It's all done. It's all backed.
Yep.
I am buying this game when it comes out, hands down.
Well, you missed out on getting it for cheaper, probably, because like you said, like
I will spend $60.
that's what it'll probably be.
This is a game. It is a game that has some gameplay and is heavily also pornographic, which is hilarious.
I think it's funny that from last I heard it was going to be on Steam, which I thought was hilarious.
Yes, and it's they might make it serious, like a serious game that has porn in it,
When I read about it, like you
which
said,
is hilarious.
There's two styles,
and I will play it.
There's like the space combat where you're flying around with the ship, and then there's like
the arcade, and then you go into like
stuff,
grid combat,
which is kind of funny.
And then when you're in your hub, you could be like, "Ooh, what you doing?" And then and then you go into probably like a little mini game where you go to Plowtown, and then that's gonna be great. I can't wait to buy this game. Subverse 5 out of 5. 10 out of 10 stars. No, okay.
Epic hasn't bought it yet, so.
Epic hasn't bought it yet. I saw some of the gameplay footage, and it looks playable, but I think it will be funny just to buy and see what it's like.
Yeah.
And then show you guys videos of it. So that's is anybody else getting it? Ross, I already know is, so I don't even need to ask.
I did monitor their Kickstarter while it was happening to see what was happening.
I bet you did. I bet you did, you greasy fuck.
For doing this same thing that he's doing.
No, I just found out about it from this article. I wasn't monitoring the fucking Kickstarter. Ross has pledged to your fucking £750.
I didn't pledge anything.
Where they send you a white waifu, life-size waifu statue.
Oh, yeah.
Ross is pledged to that one. I don't know if that was one of the tiers.
Thing.
Alex, when are you buying this game? Do you think you're going to pre-order it or just get it on
He
release?
said hard no.
I just wanted to see how successful it was going to be, and then when I saw it was already like past its goal after like the first like day or 2 or 3 or something.
Well, I mean, Incel's got an Incel, right?
Yes.
It looks funny. It looks like
Incels.
a game right down my alley that I didn't know existed, so that's going to be fun. So Forbes characterizes Star Citizen's development as incompetence and mismanagement on a galactic scale. For those of you who do not know, Forbes is a fuckboy news syndicate of Trump supporters. No, I'm kidding. I don't know anything about Forbes.
I think he hit the nail on the head, though.
Star Citizen is a game that has been in development for an extremely large time. Mm-hmm.
They broke records for their like crowdfunding.
They have, their crowdfunding is the highest of all time. I think.
Didn't they do like more than one campaign, or am I wrong?
Probably. They have over 200 million, I think, in crowdfunding, or 300 million. And this is a game where it's like considered No Man's Sky, but it actually looks good.
Yeah.
And you can do more in it, I guess, maybe. I'm not gonna lie. I own Star Citizen. I've played Star Citizen because they have like a beta thing where you can kind of test it out, fly around, and do some things, but it's not a full game yet.
Yep, and then you can pay more to get a better ship, and then you can
yes,
pay more
you actually pay.
Ship.
You actually have to pay money,
it's like
for
Online.
Insurance for these ships and shit.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like Evon. I don't think it's that. I think you have to spend in-game money. Maybe it is for insurance,
but you have to buy the ship like
with money.
Well, EVE Online is like
Yeah.
I think you use in-game currency, but like the ships have like out-of-game like value.
Yeah, there's people who've spent thousands of dollars on ships. There's like ships that are worth hundreds of dollars. And they do different things. They have better things, like more shit you can do, more people you can put on them. You can hold a buggy in them, whatever. There's some combat. I did some missions with other Chris. It looks fun. It looks exciting, and it looks really good. But it's not anywhere near complete.
Yep.
And apparently, according to
longer than DayZ, right?
Yeah,
I swear I remember like 2012 or 2013 seeing the guy like doing the Kickstarter video.
Yeah,
you know, like
this game has
gonna be amazing.
This game has been in development for like 6 years or something.
Yeah,
and apparently they are almost out of money. Yeah, and they only have. They were talking about whole star systems and stuff, and they think I think there's only 3 planets that are finished or something.
Oh Jesus!
So not even one system. Jeez. To be fair, though, if it's the planets are fucking massive, and if it's a whole planet actually like to scale the size of a planet, that's a lot of fucking content with a spaceship. I flew around the city, like the star base that they have on the planet. It's gorgeous. It's fucking ridiculous. Like, you see the bases dock, like NPCs docking and shit. And then you got the space station in space. But you can take a tram around. It's so fucking massive, you have to take a tram to get around the city.
This sounds like a video game version
you
of
gotta
Fire
think.
Fest, though.
Well, you gotta think, though.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, they've already put in probably at least as much money as it costs to make, like, End Game. And they're like 3 planets in.
Well, you understand, the original Destiny 1 cost like Bungie like $500 million to make or some shit like that.
No, but think of it. This
look
game.
At how shit
that's
that game
true.
turned out.
That's true.
Which game was it?
The first Destiny.
Yeah, the first Destiny, pretty much. But if you think about this,
too, I guess.
This game is promising more than pretty much any other game it has. It's implementing technology that has not been in any other games before, and it's fucking insane. They have a system where if you have a webcam and it's pointed at your face, you can call other people in the game, and then it will like Skype them. and then your movements will be your character's movements in the game off the webcam.
Oh, so
it'll
like,
read that. Yeah,
so like iPhone does with the
emojis. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. It will be in the game, and me and other Chris were like Skyping each other in game, and it's funny. The dude has his arm up, and he's still walking around. You can see his face. Like it's actually, if they polished up what they had,
but
like extremely polished up and got it working, it would be a hit probably.
But does
from what
this
they have.
lend itself to the project managers being incompetent and mismanaging it?
Yes, they've reached way too far, way too high, way too hard. Mm-hmm. And they are going to probably pay the price on it. And people are speculating from this article that the game might die. It might not even release.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It may just be in the form that it's in for life. And everybody who bought ships enjoy it in the capacity that the game is in right now. But me and other Chris... Don't get us wrong, we only bought like the $40, $50 package where we only got our little Vipers or our little starter ship. We didn't go fucking all in. So we're not out much.
It'd be the best if you could pre-order like a huge-ass ship that never makes it into the game. That'd be the fucking... that would be fucking...
But no, they kept on releasing like different shit, different like probably paint, different skins, different ships.
Oh, so
they've been getting
paid
money.
content before you finish the game, so like...
Yeah, it's like
just
pre-ordering
like
your
Ark
ships and
Conan
stuff.
Exiles, just like upselling DLC when they still need to
Yeah,
actually
yeah,
finish
and
the
you
game.
can you could pre-order, and no one gives them shit for this. Ark got shit on for being a 100% complete game and having DLC before it was officially released to 1.0.
Yep.
Star Citizen's been doing it since the beginning. No one gives a shit. And there's people that have spent hundreds and probably thousands of dollars on these ships. But I would be disappointed if it doesn't go anywhere, because if this is released, polished in the state that it's in, it would probably be the best space game that would exist. And if it did what they planned to do, it would probably be the best game ever.
Just do another Kickstarter and say, this is phase 2, right?
It would essentially be... Even if it's one star system with multiple planets, imagine an MMORPG a space MMO with like RPG elements. It would be like the World of Warcraft of space, but look good. And it would be like World of Warcraft Destiny. I don't fucking know. It's insane what they can do.
If there was
with
like
this
a
game.
base building mechanic where you could actually like fucking build a base, but then people could bring in their ships and try to blast your shit up.
That would be
But
awesome.
then you get on the guns and try to shoot their ships down.
Yep.
Like,
there's ships with guns and
that
gunners.
would be fucking amazing.
Yeah, if you watch some YouTube videos on this, it might be something you might want to give this guy money to.
It's like the Battle of Hoth,
No.
but actually real.
Don't do it.
At this point, probably chill and wait on it because we don't know if it's going to be released. If you like what you see, just buy a starter package and fly around in it. It's very choppy at some points because it's not fully optimized or
Have you
finished
tried
yet.
it recently, though?
No, I haven't tried it with my new rig. Mm-hmm. So we'll see.
That might fix it.
I might still have it downloaded. I'll have to try and check that out. But that's going to be sad if it does go away. So that's all I have for gaming news.
All right.
Does anybody got anything else?
Oh, let's see here.
We got through Mario. That's
We
one of my thoughts.
have to do spoilers then for we could go into. Oh, okay. I'm gonna do game. Well, no, I want to do Game of Thrones. The last episode of Game of Thrones because it's very controversial and I hate it, and so I want to talk about that, but I don't want to give spoilers for it. So don't leave yet.
So Pornhub wants to buy Tumblr and take off the content ban or whatever.
Ban. Do we think that's a good idea?
So is it just
Well,
so
Verizon-
Instagram?
Well, Tumblr's for sale.
So
apparently.
Instagram escorts will be able to post what they really want to post on Tumblr.
Well, Tumblr was being used for not safe for work kind of stuff for years, but then they banned it recently.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
Well, if that's your company's bread and butter, I don't understand banning it.
Verizon owned it. They
Yeah.
decided, I guess that's what
Yep.
they wanted to do, and now they're
Sure.
trying to sell it. So I mean,
Yep, because
They
it
fucked
probably fell really hard
Yeah,
after
they
that.
fucked
ban.
up the business model.
Everybody went to Instagram, I think, after that, didn't
Could
they,
be.
or some shit?
I don't know.
That's exciting. What Ross just said. So, Game of Thrones for last week. I've never been on Tumblr. I don't know what to say.
I don't know. I don't know.
I
anything
kind of
about it.
when I Google search it and shit, like Tumblr shit comes up.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
kinda
I agree. Yeah,
cool.
that's-
What about you? Have you been on Tumblr?
You know, the thing about Tumblr is that it's literally like a older version of like Instagram or something like that, where shit comes up in like descending order.
Feeds.
And,
Like that.
yeah,
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
well,
pretty primitive as far as like their comment system too, so it's like meh. It's like you're better off using IG if you're doing actual like shit, or
I'm sure.
we'll see
or
what
just starting your own blog.
Pornhub does with it. How much money do you think Pornhub makes? Is this becoming a corporation to
Man.
fear? If they're buying Tumblr and shit,
Yeah.
why would they need a social media thing? It's like
Why
the share
would they
button.
want
that?
It's like the share button on a porn video. It's more useless than
Share
that.
with your. I have people that have done that, and I'm wondering.
Can you
if
do it
it's
on Facebook?
important. It probably.
If I didn't have family and friends, I would totally do it.
Did
that'd
you
be
hear
funny
about
as
their
hell.
April Fool's joke or whatever?
Oh, where it said it shared or whatever.
Yeah, you shared this video to Facebook. Oh,
The best was when they were meeting with Mark Zuckerberg and Ted Cruz is all like, "Is it possible for a website to go rogue and like post something to your social media page or whatever?" He was like blaming it on the interns or whatever at it, and then all of a sudden he's asking if a site can go rogue. So it's like, Ted, we know it's confirmed that you're into like, what was it, MILF, like whatever or something like that.
It was incest stuff, I think.
that's
Yeah.
terrible.
Like step
What a funny.
something. We can't. You're my brother.
Pretty much, yeah.
That is gross. Hilarious.
um,
A website go rogue.
that would be funny.
It's so dumb.
That would be detrimental to a lot of people.
Yeah.
So Game of Thrones last week, third episode. I want to talk about this because it's controversial. I went to a viewing party. I think we had like 8 people. Good turnout. We had pizza, macaroni and cheese pizza.
Ooh.
Don't know why that
That's
exists.
carbs on
I've had
carbs
it.
on
Don't
carbs.
know why that exists.
Great.
Was it
It
fantastic?
shouldn't
though?
exist. No, I didn't have any. I had cheese pizza.
It's good. I've had
Bacon mac and cheese pizza.
I've just had mac and cheese pizza.
I've had mac and cheese pizza before with you, and
Oh, you had that one. Okay.
yeah, I just looked
They
at
have it
you
at-
wondering what you have become.
They have it at Quick Trip sometimes.
Yeah, Quick Trip.
Shout out Quick Trip.
But anyway, we watched it. We streamed it on HBO, and the bit rate was really shit, and the episode was really dark.
Yep.
So you know how when you're streaming something and your TV,
It
it
pixelates.
can't
and
process the
like
blacks.
globules,
Yeah.
yeah.
So the shut up. So all the black is like pixelated in multiple shades of black
Yep.
and gray.
Yeah.
So,
Oh.
here-
And the whole episode was essentially that.
Oh no.
so what you're saying
Yes.
is they encoded it to a low bit rate because they assumed a ton of people would stream it and they didn't want to.
Yes, and a ton of people fucking streamed it. One of the most important episodes of the series, and it looked not that great. Still, I have criticisms about it. So
And it's difficult.
is this okay? So right now, I'll probably get into spoilers accidentally. So if you haven't seen Game of Thrones or End Game, we're probably gonna go into spoilers with those.
Yeah, like and
So
subscribe.
like and subscribe. We'll catch you next time if you won't stick around for the spoilers. But if you're ready to go, Game of Thrones Season 8, Episode 3 spoilers and Avengers End Game spoilers are coming right after I am done talking. So Game of Thrones Season 3,
What?
or Season 8, Episode 3.
Okay.
This is the most important thing ever in the whole series. The entire series was building up to
Yep,
this
that's
episode
true.
out.
Yep.
But it wasn't written by GRRM first.
It was not. They did the TV. You can tell after they ran out of content from the books.
Yep.
Bleep what I said with the spoiler before because that was a cheap blow.
I could.
But you could tell after they ran out of the books, they started doing standard issue TV formula. So they went with.
But you got to keep your views up with that type of formula. though.
This is the last season. It doesn't matter. It's done.
Yep.
You
People are
can
gonna see it
conclude.
just to see the end.
Yes.
Yep.
There's over 8 million people just streaming this alone on HBO, like a week. It's a lot, and that's not including the pirating that's going on, which is a lot for it. But they're doing the TV show formula. They did a shit ton of cheap shots where they show a character is clearly going to die in this shot, and then they do not die. Then they show another shot where this exact same character is clearly going to die.
Yep.
They do not. Then they show this character in another scene where they are clearly going to die. And then they do not. That is 3 hard takes they did in this episode for 5 characters, maybe. They did that. That's the 3 that I noticed. They did some with 2 hard takes where you think a character dies and they do not.
Like, oh,
the most important fucking battle that this has been leading to, that we thought this was the most important battle. Fuck yourselves. They killed off 2 main characters only out of fucking how many do they got there right now?
I was gonna
15?
Say, to be fair, that's all that's like left or main.
And they
characters now.
hard took on so many of them. Like, there is a scene where the undead are completely covering some person. And you're like, oh, they're fucking dead. Next scene, they're standing around a bunch of dead It's like, what? Like, what? Like, what? Like, all these undead things, they even show them. They have weapons, too. Like, they're going up to people and they're like, yeah, get fucked. And they're like, oh, they're dead people stabbing me. And then they're dying, but no main character gets that treatment.
Yep.
I'm not going to spoil who dies. One guy dies heroic as fuck. And another guy dies heroic as fuck. And let's say they're main characters, but they're not main characters. Let's be clear here. Mm-hmm. And there's a couple not main characters that also, they're like supporting characters. A couple of them die.
Like
they don't matter. I'm saying
They die for bullshit reasons.
Yeah, 2 main characters that actually had a ton of screen time have passed away in this episode.
Yep.
It was a good episode, regardless, because the fight scenes, despite being bullshit and the darkness, if you knew what was going on, if you saw it at a high bit rate, it probably looked really amazing. They did a lot with the episode that no one at all, not many people expected. I won't say no one at all. They took it in a different direction, but that's because of what the TV show is currently at.
Martin's gonna kill everybody, so they gotta let some people live, right?
And we got 3 episodes to resolve this now. There's a lot of main characters, so clearly, this was the most important battle that you could think of that was going to happen in Game of Thrones. But then it turns out it was not actually the most important battle. It lasted 1 episode. It was like a 90-minute battle, by the way.
Yeah.
It was insane and awesome. But it ended it ended in a way that you would not expect, and it ended it was disappointing, I will say.
I don't know if it was not expected though. Like, a lot of people I saw in theory things before it thought that like what happened like was going to happen, but maybe not exactly the way it happened. But they kind of had.
It was good, but the way it was just like all this shit happens, no one dies. There was no real stakes at all. I guess the whole fucking battle.
Right.
So it cheapens the payoff. It was like anticlimactic because.
Well, I don't care what happens as long as Dragon Lady's gone. Like, Sansa Stark can sit the throne for all I care. It's just as long as it's not Daenerys.
And we saw, I don't know who's going to seat the throne yet. We saw the preview for the next episode then, and they're like, okay, now we got this thing to do. And then they start showing another big army that they have. Like the Unsullied, Daenerys' army, they started showing ranks of them again going through, and I'm like, what?
Thought they got like wiped out.
The whole thing got wiped out.
I know the Dothraki did pretty much.
I'm like, where were they during the fight then? Right? In the courtyard? Like, if there were that many alive, where were they? On the other side of the city chilling just to see if undead went that way?
Right?
Yeah, we gotta make sure they don't come from the back. Half our forces are not even fighting.
Well, I guess it seemed like a lot of people thought it seemed like they planned for like an aerial attack, like with the dragon, but then like they just came at them.
They did a lot. There was a lot of cool visuals.
Yeah.
Like so what happens is it's clear, but then the Night King comes, and then he brings a blizzard with him. That's what makes everything dark and all foggy and stupid and shit. So you can barely see shit. The characters can barely see shit. Like you only had enough room for one person in center stage, and then the person in the background is like already blurred out. That's next to him, like fogged out. It was insane. But the shots they did, the dragons flew above the clouds into like starlight or moonlight with the stars. Like great visuals. The Dothraki with the torches, that was fucking awesome. I guess I won't go into details because you guys haven't seen it yet. I won't go into too much details. But it was good, but it was not good. Like, I don't think I'm going to be satisfied with anything they do with this season or with the ending.
My thing is, in shows,
the Drowned God has to come out. That's what I want.
If they don't end it right, I don't really like to start those shows because I think, and this is like the type of shows I like to watch. I think if I knew how Burn Notice ended, I wouldn't have watched that show.
Yeah.
Like, it was really shitty. You know what I mean? And then, other shows like White Collar, I'm like, okay, this ended in a way where I would have watched the show. So I kind of judge shows by their ending.
Uh-huh.
And if I have to go by... I plan on starting after they get finished with these 6 episodes or whatever.
You will like the ending. Whatever they give for the ending, a person who hasn't read the books and hasn't been invested for 10 years will like the ending. Because Ernest is currently watching it. He's addicted to it, by the way.
Well, Ernest is the...
he's past...
He likes a lot of shit that I don't really like. He tried to get us to watch This Is Us. I don't roll with that shit.
I don't know what this is.
I can't be
for a little bit.
Yeah, I can't be a grown ass man crying in my living room on some shit.
but no, I mean, I think you would enjoy it. It's just the fact that, like, I guess I would call myself a diehard fan of Game of Thrones, and A Song of Ice and Fire, the books. It's something that I've been watching for 10 years. I read the books like back when I watched season 1, and I read through all the books, and I've been waiting for books, and then watching the show go past the books, and watching it like it's like a cheaper experience because they go with like the TV show formula, which is standard fucking issue of is like main character gonna die, Kate not gonna die, like, and they do it 3 times an episode. Like that's me. I expect too much of it now, but if you watch it clean now, you will probably love it. It will be just a normal show for you that you will probably enjoy. Sure. Me, I just demand perfection and greatness in this series.
Who's the main character?
I can't tell you that.
Okay.
Because there is none.
Exactly.
Well, I mean,
Spoiler
if you
alert.
think about it, Arya Stark is the prince that was promised. So, I mean... like,
Not true at all.
What?
spoilers.
No, it's not true at all. But it's not...
Well, if the prince that was promised is who is there...
One thing that
then,
George...
he's not very good at what he does.
One thing that George R.R. Martin does in his fantastic, perfect writing, which is absolute perfection, and he is one of the best writers I've ever read, and he's better than Lord of the Rings. He does a shit ton of foreshadowing, and
because that automatically
especially of A Song of Ice and Fire, it mystifies. It makes you think you're going one way, but really you're not going one way. He tells you that prophecy matters, but it doesn't matter. Like, he shows you examples of both. It's like Jon Snow... I don't know anything about Lost. So Jon Snow dies and comes back. He dies and comes back. That is the principle. That is the prince that was promised. That's Azor Ahai. Red Priestess is like, this is the fucking dude. This is Azor Ahai. But multiple seasons prior, Beric Dondarrion was raised by Thoros of Myr, a red priest, a fallen red priest, 7 times. And his blood can start his sword on fire. So you have a guy who's been raised from the dead 7 times. You see it in the show. Jeez. It's implied in the books, and you see it in the books, or implied in the books as well. And there's a guy that's come back 7 times, has a fucking flaming sword. And the prophecy says He will be born of fire. He will do a bunch of stuff with blood. He will have a flaming sword. This is Lightbringer. This is Azor Ahai. Jon Snow doesn't have a flaming sword. Beric Dondarrion does. He was raised 7 times and has a flaming sword, and he amounted to nothing in the show.
Jeez.
He held a corridor, and she's like, the Red Priestess is like, he was brought back and served his purpose.
Yep.
7 times and a flaming sword, and this guy's not Azor Ahai, but Jon Snow is, and has a Valyrian steel sword.
The guy who can't do anything right.
And then, spoiler alert, he's not even the guy that kills the Night King that was meant to.
Yep.
This is George R.R. Martin writing. Nothing is as it seems. Prophecy is coincidental only, and that is it. It is amazing fucking writing. In the show, it is not brought to the forefront as much as it is in the books. The books focus heavily on foreshadowing and prophecy. Some of it mystical, some of it fake and in the characters' heads, based off coincidence. It is fantastic. The writing is so fucking good for the books. You expect so much from the show, but we're not currently getting that.
Does Jon even kill any big bads in the show?
At the Battle of Hardhome, he killed one of the others.
Oh. Ooh.
And that's when they found out that they control their own dead. So when another dies, one of pretty much the commanders of the undead army, when one of they die, the undead that they're linked to also die.
Yep.
And yeah, so that's happening. So I gave you a good look into it.
Yep.
On how
So they're vampires.
George R.R. Martin, he crafted these stories to make you think, and to also have cheap experiences and experiences that really pay off in both ways that you think they would and you think they wouldn't.
And some that don't pay off.
Exactly. It's like you have religion, you have all this mystical shit. Everything means something, but then also everything means nothing. It's fantastic writing. You'll have to read the books to get what I'm saying, but just know that this is not portrayed in the show. If you like the show, read the fucking books. They are 100 times more descriptive than the show could be. Have a quarter of them, have 25% more characters at a minimum that are dead. They take such a different approach than the show does. It is fantastic. So that's what I want to say about Game of Thrones. Hopefully this week's is better. We'll see. I'm doubting it.
Is it just going to be another build-up episode?
It's going to be a build-up episode for sure, 100%. And then the last 2 episodes will be the climax of what goes on. I think you'll enjoy the show, and I think you'll like it as is. Okay. Because you're not expecting what I'm expecting, which is perfection. Okay. And I'm very opinionated and picky when it comes to my Game of Thrones. So take my opinions with a grain of salt. Watch it yourself. Form your own opinions, like always. Yeah. End Game. Avengers End Game. Was it good, Alex?
It wasn't bad. It was...
Wow. Ross, was it good?
Great.
No, I'm kidding. Go ahead. What do you think about it, Alex?
Well, I mean, it's no Winter Soldier or Black Panther, but...
Woo! Here we go. Black Panther is overrated.
I agree.
Black Panther.
Winter Soldier is good.
It is good,
but it is overrated.
I mean, to be fair, there was no like world ending in it. Like there was Winter Soldier, but like it was something that could easily have been taken out by, let's say, Captain Marvel, for example.
Winter Soldier was great because it had one of the best villains that the Marvel Cinematic Universe, this one, has, and that is a human with no powers. That was... Wait, what am I thinking of? I'm thinking of Civil War. I retract everything I just said.
that was Civil War.
Winter Soldier. Yeah, Winter Soldier was bullshit. Fuck that movie.
Winter Soldier was the whole Hydra coming out and like as it being controlling S.H.I.E.L.D. pretty much.
And then that was short-lived.
Yep.
Good movie.
I mean, it was good.
How is
I liked it. It's one of the top Marvel cinematic movies.
How is Black Panther overrated? Let's talk about this.
I watched it for the second time. Well, because I was with the hype for the first time we saw it in theaters, but the second time I watched it, I'm like, I'm not going to watch it a third time. Like, I'll say that. Like, Chris, it's hard to describe.
They want to make a second one, but they don't know who to have as the villain. That's how, that's why I know that, the first one wasn't that great.
Black Panther, Black Panther's not as very fleshed out. I don't think, if I remember correctly, he doesn't have a lot of villains that are like marketable.
Yeah,
I guess
exactly.
Like,
My thing is,
like, can you name a Black Panther villain? Even
well,
the one from the Black Panther movie, can you name him?
we already
Can you name him, Chris?
listen. We already determined, and this is not the reason why I'm asking the question. Is not leading up to any particular outcome that I have in mind. I just want to hear viewpoints on it because we've already determined, and I've already said on the podcast before, I watched Black Panther and dressed up and did all of that other shit because I'm a hype beast when it comes to comics. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh shit, everybody's talking about this. Let's fucking do it. I will watch it for that reason. Like, do I go out and watch Thor Ragnarok? No, nobody talked about that shit. You know what I mean?
Thor Ragnarok was fucking great. That was one of the top ones, I would say.
There was a writer, there was a guy online who put it into perspective who wrote an article. He said, it's the capping of 22 films. He said, this will probably never happen again. Like, we are watching this in a theater, and that's the thing that amazed him the most about it.
That we're living in it?
Yeah.
That it's happening in our lifetime?
Yep.
Yeah, no franchise has been this far and done this hard and made this much money.
Yep.
Not even Star Wars, and they're going on 9 movies. Marvel's done double, and they're still planning on doing more. In the next phases, they won't mean shit. Fuck them. No one gives a shit about the next phase.
I don't care.
Nah, fuck him. Ross ain't watching. He's going to say that, and I'm going to be like, oh, Ross, it's out. You want to see it? Nah.
Well, hey, they're finally ready
No,
to bring
no.
out Adam Warlock once like his main purpose is already gone.
Yeah, it would be in
right.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
The Asgardians of the Galaxy.
As Guardians of the Galaxy. Spoiler alert. We already said we're going into spoilers. Endgame, I enjoyed it a lot. There's a lot of plot holes. We won't talk about that.
Was there intermission?
I want to know how they got Joe Biden to sit on that bench at the end of the movie.
I agree.
Go ahead. Yep.
I gotta watch this shit now. But did they have intermissions?
No. There's no.
So you had to straight through it 3 hours.
Oh, it's more than 3 hours.
I
because
didn't.
of
the after or whatever.
Wow.
Just smacks. He's excited.
The audio.
No, there was the
He's
previews
excited.
and stuff before it and stuff.
I got the mini pretzels to.
Kind of soaks.
Yeah, I
shit
don't
up,
think
you
I
know?
even got a drink.
Yeah.
I just sat there.
I didn't either.
salt-
I didn't
yeah.
drink.
Did someone have adult diapers, man? You take a
No,
piss during the movie?
no, it wasn't bad for me. I didn't have to get up for it.
It was
myself.
actually it was so early in the
Know
morning.
your
I
body,
really
Chris.
didn't drink it
I was
till-
glad I watched it in the morning. Let's just say that.
Yeah,
I
just pee before you go. Like,
I-
know your body, Chris.
wake up.
I
I'm
got a
thirsty.
bunch of
Drink
alcohol
like
before I get there.
drink like a half a cup of water, and then when I get to the theater, drink like one little drink of water
Yeah.
from the fountain. And I was like, I'm not gonna be peeing.
Oh, by the way, I watched Avengers Saturday morning and then Sunday afternoon. I saw it twice on opening weekend.
6 hours. That's almost a whole.
And
bunch
to
of
be
shit.
fair, the second time I watched it, the beginning was very slow, but then it picked up and I got right back into it like I was the first time.
Yep.
Paul Rudd's scenes were all like just fucking spot on though.
He did very good that movie for being such a shit single movie guy, and
He had 2 movies.
Ant-Man and the Wasp was trash, but he did good in those movies,
Yeah, those are great.
in the Avengers movies.
I like
Ant-Man
those
and the
movies.
Wasp was like perfection.
Did you
as
know that
far
the
as-
Wasp was the first female like Marvel character to get like her name on the movie?
Wow. Is that?
There's
for
only
real?
22 of them. I guess I can imagine that.
I was like, wow.
There's no like Wonder Woman.
Took a while.
Because Scarlet Witch didn't get her, or no, not Scarlet Witch. Scarlett
Marvel?
Johansson, whatever. Her,
Black Widow's
Widow.
coming out. No, but that,
And
but it's-
Captain Marvel came after the Wasp, technically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, are we gonna talk about that forced scene that you sighed at and rolled your eyes
Did you
at?
know that Ant-Man and the Wasp was filmed at the same time as Infinity War and like Endgame because they were filmed back to back, and then they were filming Ant-Man and the Wasp at the same time as well.
Jeez.
So they were technically filming like 3 movies.
He
within,
must
like,
be tired.
right.
Holy
And
shit.
Very, very. Rich.
Ant-Man and Ant-Man
It
and
took
Wasp
a
are
year.
bad
It took a year to
I
film
like
them
those
back to
movies.
back, like Infinity War and
How long?
Endgame. A whole year.
That's insane. Shout out to Thanos. I mean Thanos in real talk, but
Thanos
Thanos.
Baratheon.
Thanos Baratheon, Bobby B, dude. There wasn't a lot of Thanos in this movie. There wasn't.
I mean, it didn't hurt it though. in my opinion.
Stannis. Yep.
Thanos carried Infinity War.
Well, yeah.
Like Josh
'Cause
Brolin's
it
acting,
was
that
literally,
carried that.
it was
fucking
literally
movie.
him going and getting the damn stones. I'd hope. He was in
Yeah,
there
it
a
was
lot.
awesome. Like it was insane how good of a Thanos he was, and to bring it back to the beginning with like them, without them trying to problem solve without Thanos there.
Mm-hmm. The time heist was fucking like
Whoa! Spoiler alert, Chris. Do you want the spoilers?
Yeah, man.
You don't care. Tony Stark dies. Yeah. So
I heard he had a kid too.
Yep.
In this movie,
it started with Tony Stark, ends with Tony Stark. It was very.
It's pretty much like Lost, where it starts with Jack and ends with Jack.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was always you, Jack. That's what they say.
That movie
in the show.
If you've been watching the Marvel Cinematic Universe since the beginning, prepare to hold back the tears.
Jeez.
Because there is a lot of fucking sad in that movie, and I got teary-eyed so many points in that fucking movie, and I didn't cry. I'm not a bitch. No, I'm kidding. It's okay to cry at movies.
The thing is like
I cried at Logan.
There are some things that I want to know, and I'm going to ask some very pointed questions, and I want very concise.
Yes,
answers.
it was Joe Biden sitting on the bench at the end.
That's exactly what I thought though when I saw
Yes,
it.
like the MCU really started with Captain America and Ed Norton Hulk because Iron Man was always pretty meh.
That is incorrect. That Hulk movie was trash, and Eric Bana's Hulk is the greatest Hulk.
Oh yes.
Yep.
Yep. How
statements.
with Ang Lee, everyone like mentions, oh, the Life of Pi, oh this, and then you forget he made fucking Hulk, which is just.
Which was
If
amazing.
I would just drop trowel and just shoot a deuce on the floor, that was Hulk.
Yeah, the Edward Norton one.
Oh, geez. Calm down, guys.
But listen,
Dude, Edward Norton. Who likes the Edward Norton one? That movie was so fucking
I mean,
bad.
it's not
The
great,
problem with
but
Ed
it's
Norton
not-
Hulk wasn't the
Ang
Ed
Lee
Norton.
Hulk wasn't that good either,
Yeah.
but it is better than Edward Norton Hulk.
Well, hey, you didn't have who's
to
the
be
dude
fair,
who played,
Edward Norton can't act his way out of fucking brown paper bag.
Whoa.
To be fair, I haven't seen American History X, so I don't. That's not a valid statement. Which I hear is his
So you
bad.
haven't
Okay,
seen Boys
no,
in the Hood or American History X?
Where have you been? Like, what is-
I recant that because Death to Smoochie is a really good movie.
Yes.
And he is amazing in that movie.
So is Robin Williams.
Well, Robin Williams carried that movie. Let's be
Robin
real
Williams
here.
is that
Rainbow Randall carried that movie.
R.I.P.
But okay, I'm taking it back. I said some harsh things to hurt Alex, and I did not mean them.
as per
Edward
the news.
Norton can act. He cannot act in a Marvel movie. As
I
a
think
Hulk.
there were more issues with that movie than just like Edward Norton being in it, though. I think that it was just not a good.
Overall, like the.
Why do you think even Ruffalo hasn't
great.
gotten another like movie for the Hulk? Because it's just really what's he gonna do, right?
Yeah.
Well, because they already did what's the Hulk in space one called?
I
can't remember what it's called.
the one that the Thor Ragnarok pretty much had in it.
Yeah. It wasn't World War
Planet Hulk.
Planet Hulk. I was like World War Hulk. That doesn't sound right.
The Red Hulk. Right?
Yeah, they could do the one where he go. I guess they could do a prequel because they don't.
Breaker Hulk, where he gets back and he just like fucking causes a huge.
No,
earthquake.
because it shows him at the end of that movie like flying up into space or whatever on the ship, and it's implied that he just floats and comes through one of those garbage heap teleporter things in Thor Ragnarok to that planet.
Black hole or
but in Planet Hulk, there's a cartoon movie for this, by the way. It's really good. Hulk goes nuts, and he's too dangerous to keep on Earth. So the Avengers trick him into a spaceship, and they launch him in. They essentially launch him into space onto. I think it's when Bruce Banner can't turn back into Bruce Banner. So they launch him into space they trick him into a spaceship, they launch him into space, and shoot him at a planet that has life, that they know of, essentially.
Well,
and that's all they know.
It's supposed to be some planet where like he'll never like have like it's like got like all this wildlife and shit.
It has vegetation and wildlife, but he can't hurt anybody.
But he like goes nuts and like knocks the ship off course, and then it lands on some other
he
planet.
goes nuts and starts beating the shit out of the ship, and then it goes off course, and then he lands to Planet Hulk, and then he fights as an arena fighter, and that's, Beta Ray Bill's part of that shit. Like, you don't know who Beta Ray Bill's in. He's the Horseman. That's the other Thor. We'll see about that if they.
Equestria Sapien or whatever.
There was an Easter egg of him in Thor Ragnarok as one of the head statues on the Colosseum or whatever with Hulk. You can see Beta Ray Bill's thing.
Yep.
But So that's cool. They could do that. They could have did that if they didn't cheaply put him into space. They could have did the prequel movie where he can't turn back into Bruce Banner and he goes...
They probably still could, though.
Insane. He was too dangerous to keep around, so they had to shoot the Hulk off the fucking planet because he's just too dangerous.
Yeah.
So...
Because Scarlet Witch's movie's obviously going... Not Scarlet Witch, fucking Scarlett Johansson. Her character's movie's going to have to be a prequel.
Yeah, isn't that with, like... Is she even, like, in it?
I don't know.
I'm hoping it's Budapest.
Because I think it's... No, it's not, I don't think. It's showing, like, younger people from when she was being trained, I think.
Oh.
So,
Isn't Emma Watson?
I think she was supposed to be in it, but then I think it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Because I don't see her attached to it at all.
We'll see what they do with that. But they could make it, like, start the Hulk movie off where... no, they don't talk about it in Thor Ragnarok.
Well, the thing is, he comes out just as the Hulk, right? Not as
yeah, and the ship is there, too. Mm-hmm. The crashed ship. So never mind. It doesn't work. We can't even do it. God damn, they couldn't even do fucking Planet Hulk properly.
Well, the thing is, they can show how he got there and him fighting as a pit fighter until he runs into Thor, right?
That'd be better as like a series, probably, though, a TV series.
And then he comes back, World Breaker Hulk fucking, like, causes an earthquake so large it fucking just wrecks a bunch of cities or some shit, and they don't fuck with him after that.
Like, even the Rock dude's in the in the cartoon.
Yeah.
Taika Waititi.
Yeah, that guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's in the cartoon.
It's exciting to see where it goes. It's exciting to see what they do with it.
The other guy is too.
Endgame was good though. I liked it. It was really good. I think it was a very beautiful end to the cinematic universe that anybody cares about.
They definitely didn't like F it up.
How can you go anywhere after this? What is the fucking thing?
So everyone that got snapped away actually died, yes?
They got snapped away.
Well, yeah, but
they ceased to exist.
It's literally like when they come back, they just don't know anything that happened while they were gone.
Okay, so they do come back.
They come back in the same way that they were, like...
But 5 years later.
Okay.
Like,
I just spoiled a huge part of the movie.
Well, Spider-Man and his friend, like...
they in the trailer
must have gotten snapped because they were both...
Well, no one knew there was
a time jump. Hawkeye as Ronan, so you can assume
no one knew there was a time jump of 5 years, though, when that happened in the thing.
Well, they knew there was a time jump because Hawkeye turned into Ronan.
Everyone thought it was maybe like 2 years max, and it was 5.
When Thor turned into Thor...
Well, they didn't show that in the trailer.
You'll love Thor in this movie, Chris.
They didn't show that in the trailers because people would have... All the people who went there to see...
In the whole movie, he stayed
all
that
the
way.
people who went there to see Hemsworth were probably, like, having a...
Aneurysm.
Yeah.
It's exciting. It's a very good ending to it. Like...
Dad bods need love too. You know what I mean?
They kept a lot of the support characters out of the story and
a lot of the ones
brought
that
it back
did
to
a lot,
the main ones.
A lot of the ones that did a lot in Infinity War, they kind of put them in the background and had other people doing stuff in this one.
Well, anybody who got snapped didn't come back until like the
But even
end.
in the final battle,
so,
I'm saying...
Well, yeah, because this focused on like the starting crew essentially.
Yeah.
Okay.
And trying to fix it, and then they fix it. Mm-hmm. We didn't even tell you about Joe Biden yet. Should we leave that as a surprise?
Yeah,
Should we leave that as a surprise?
Yeah, we'll leave that as a surprise. It might surprise them.
Some people were very confused at how it would work, and I figured it out with the help of some articles. So I wanted to talk about that, but that would be a cool thing to not spoil for you.
Okay.
Unless you.
One thing I wanted to say is like the thing I read.
I don't think you care.
The thing I read when the director commented on it, because he's commented on it now. One of the director guys, he said that it made like an alternate timeline when he went back.
See, that can't happen. Then that's a plot hole, and the movie sucks. I recant everything.
No, it's not a plot hole because he used his Pym stuff to come back before and then went to where that bench was.
No,
that's what they said.
That's false.
They said he came back to that timeline after she died.
How? The launch... He had to go back to a time where the launch pad existed. That was a remote pad that they used. And then the other pad, he
found a way.
No, incorrect. Incorrect.
Well, you gotta think. He's in the ice during that time, so...
No, I figured it out. Okay, so now we're talking about this.
He made an extra identity.
He doesn't understand shit.
I'm taking what the director said.
I texted you about this. The director doesn't know shit. Okay? So, Chris... Captain America has to travel back in time and bring back all the stones to where they take them because, spoiler alert, they go back in time to get the stones to bring everybody back. Okay. That's how they do it.
Sure.
He has to go back and put them back in the same spot that they took them because the stones can only exist in one timeline, a singular time. So if you take a stone out of one timeline, it does not exist in that timeline.
It like messes up.
It creates its own timeline with that own stone.
Sure.
So only one stone can exist in one timeline at a time. You can't have duplicate stones.
Sure.
So this is how they explain it in the movie. So Captain America travels back in time, puts the stones back, lives out his life, and he appears and then they try to bring him back 10 seconds after they send him back on the thing, and they're like, oh fuck, he's not coming back. I don't know what the fuck happened. And then they look over and they see an old man sitting at a bench who's Joe Biden. Yeah. And it
looks like Joe Biden.
And it's Captain America as an old man, and you turn out that he stayed and he lived his life as Captain America. Or not as Captain America, but he stayed with Peggy Carter, the girl that he fell in love with, and he stayed. But here's the thing. People were confused about how that could happen because there is another Captain America during that timeline. It doesn't just get rid of him. So here's the deal. For Captain America to be able to travel back in time to return the stones, Captain America has to travel the exact same path that Captain America travels to get to that point so he can go back in time to put the stones back and get them. Okay. So what happened? That's a singular timeline because it's in a loop. So how does it work with the second Captain America? Well, here's the thing. Captain America that we know from the future lived out Captain America's timeline to the point where he has to go back in time to bring back the stones, and he stays. And then there's a second Captain America. That second Captain America is living out the path of the Captain America that we know up to the point where he has to go back and bring the stones back and stay and live with Peggy Carter. And then the other Captain America will do the same thing, and it is in a loop. And the Captain America that we know will live out his life in that same timeline and live through his life. Here's the catch. Peggy Carter married a man and had 2 kids.
Yeah.
They do not mention the man or show who the man is or name the man. And when she is on her deathbed or in hospice, there's a picture of the kids, but there's no pictures of the husband. So Captain America, who traveled back in time, knows when other Captain America is going to be there, and knows that Captain America can't go off course. So there's no mention of who she marries. There's no pictures of him because the other Captain America can't be sent off course with it.
Oh.
So he lives his life with Peggy Carter.
Because that's the present for him.
Yep. And then he goes with his shield that he went back in time with and gives that to the next Captain America when he sits on the bench, because the other shield that main Captain America went with went back in time. So there's 2 shields during that timeline. One Captain America lives out his, the one that we know, and then the one that goes back. So he lived his life without being Captain America. But he still had the shield. And then he comes back and he's on the bench. Beautiful, beautiful fucking ending to Captain America. It's super. But I read an article and I tried to figure it out.
I found something that figured this out. The directors and the writers gave conflicting information about what happened.
Yes.
The directors both said that he made a different reality when he did that, then he came back from it. And the writers are saying that they believe that he did not create a new timeline because of the specifics of the Ancient One's explanation of time travel. Mm-hmm. So I guess I would take the writers
I read a few articles. Took some thought, pieced it together myself, with the same conclusion that the article pretty much had is that, and I just explained it to you how it's possible with a singular timeline. Mm-hmm. So now you can understand what the fuck is actually going on with the timeline, because time travel gets fucking stupid.
I think
time travel, you can die.
The easiest way is to have a singular timeline. Yeah. Requires no butterfly effect, no multiple time.
Well, you can. You see, the thing is, if you time travel, you can still die because that's your present. So
And then the Ancient One, the Ancient One explains it just fine. Singular timeline, you remove a stone, that stone no longer exists in time, our timeline, and it branches off into its other timeline where I do not have it, but it exists in the other timeline that you take it into.
Yep. Sure.
So essentially, each stone is its own timeline, pretty much. But they bring it back to one timeline and then bring it back to the singular.
The stones are just like a good example, though. You could do that with other things too.
Yeah, where you have a solid thing that is actually time itself, essentially. So you can move it around and play with it. But it was a beautiful ending to Captain America, and that's like the best explanation I heard.
Yep.
And it makes perfect sense when you think
it sounds like the writers felt that was more likely the case than the directors.
Oh, and they were planning on the time travel thing for a very long time, apparently, because they have like, I saw articles where they were hinting on like in one of the movies, like Tony Stark's arm like really hurts.
Yep.
And it's the arm that
happens in multiple movies.
Yeah. And it's the arm that he uses in the future to...
They were saying that was the waves through time of like... Because they claim that
correcting itself or something.
Well, he's like picking up on these things through time because he's like...
And he had visions of everybody dying.
Yep.
And
they said that was all some weird time diet, like...
Thor had visions, like
when the snaps happen, I think it causes these ripples through time or something like that, and he was like experiencing that.
And we're gonna end this quick, but for those of you who are wondering why the Vision is not in Endgame, it's because he requires the Mind Stone to actually exist. So when they're using it for other purposes, there can only be one stone in a timeline.
Well, he wasn't snapped
that exists.
Either.
No, but for him to exist, he would need this Mind Stone with the body. They didn't have the body. They didn't have his Mind Stone. So when they snapped everybody back, the Mind Stone was on the gauntlet and couldn't be on the Vision. And since even though
they didn't have enough time,
he wasn't even snapped anyway. Yeah, so it doesn't even matter. But the Mind Stone was on the gauntlet and can't be on the Vision.
If
and the
they could
gauntlet.
have finished the procedure, he'd have been able to stick around. But
there can only be one stone in a timeline. So that's how they made it. So they give parameters, and it all fits and all makes sense. Beautiful how I figured it out, and Ross was wrong.
I wasn't wrong. The director told everybody the wrong thing. Like
don't believe the director. He don't know shit.
Misdirection.
All right. Anybody got anything else they want to say? Any more spoilers? Black Widow dies.
Yep.
So let's go on and end that there. We have a damn near 2-hour podcast. A lot of it's spoiler. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you all like and subscribe. Listen to us on audio only on other stuff that we have that will be said. And leave a comment and tell us yap, 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 fucking fatzos or whatever you want to say. We don't care. Just communicate with us. Let us know how we're doing, how we can improve. We're going out to the real set hopefully next week, so we won't look like scrubs in a dead wall and blank wall and shit. Anyway, we'll catch you next time. Hey everyone, hope you enjoyed the episode. You could catch us currently at the Prime 4 podcast on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and Podcast Addict for audio only. If you want to see how fugly we look in real life, you can also catch us on YouTube under the Prime 4 podcast.